Welcome back to Studio Chatter. The loss of a loved one can have serious repercussions in our lives. How can we manage that grief? Welcome Chantelle Atkin from Maple Creek Home Health and Hospice to the table. Welcome, Chantelle.
Hi, Chantelle. That could be a tongue twister.
Yes, it can be.
Home health and hospice. Yes.
It is.
Try and answer the phone that way.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, that would be.
Yeah.
What is your role?
So I am our social worker, and I handle the volunteers as well as the I do all the bereavements.
Okay.
Oh.
So I didn't even know that there was a volunteer program. So how does that work at your center?
Yeah, so all hospice companies have the opportunity for volunteers, and right now I only have 2 male volunteers, and we always need female volunteers. Male volunteers are awesome too, and we get a lot of students, but a lot of our patients just need, a companion or someone to maybe do grocery shopping for them, just little things, or come do light housekeeping. And they just have to come in and apply. We do a small background check and 20-minute little training to make sure they understand. And then I'll go out with a volunteer and make sure they feel comfortable with the situation. And then they get to do that. We have, people who will help record life histories, which is great because a lot of our patients haven't had the opportunity. So
it's so neat. I love that.
Yeah, they can do all sorts of things. They, if they have a service animal, they can bring a service animal. A lot of people can't take care of animals anymore when they're on hospice, and they miss that companionship of a pet. So.
Oh, for sure.
And you're centrally located. You're just by Spanish Fork High School on Center Street.
Yes.
So you're easy to just stop in, swing by, say, hey, I'm here to volunteer. What can I do?
We will sign you up right that day.
Okay, and the hours probably just depend on the needs of your patients.
It's actually usually really flexible. If they come in with saying, I want to share my musical talent or read scriptures with somebody or anything you want to do to volunteer, we can offer that to our patients and find out which patients would like that. And they can come in and say, I have an hour a week to volunteer or 5 hours a week to volunteer, and there's always needs for that.
So I'm sure your patient level ebbs and flows. What's the average? Or is there an average?
It kind of depends. I mean, realistically around between 24 and 35 would I would say an average-ish, but
that can
and we usually try to stay somewhere around that number because we want to make sure we don't overstaff so our patients can get quality care. We're not having the nurses see 30 patients each. They're not going to get the care that they need. So.
How long have you guys been open now?
I believe we opened in 2011.
No way.
Yes, I believe that is our opening.
Wow.
Hopefully.
I went to that ribbon cutting and I was thinking 4 years. Oh.
It's crazy how time passes, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, what do you think it is maybe? I mean, I guess from the volunteer standpoint, that would make people, I think, is it nervous? That they are afraid to connect with somebody that might be the loss?
I think the hospice part usually scares people. I mean, it scares a lot of people away from wanting to be on hospice or even come help with hospice because they think, that means someone's on their deathbed. But there's people that, it's doesn't mean they're going to die tomorrow if they're on hospice. Okay. And so it's just I guess I value the stories and things I get to hear, and there's so many untold stories with veterans. I have a gentleman who's in his 90s who's a World War II vet, and he doesn't get to tell his stories. He lives alone, and so you're missing out on this amazing population, and it does scare people that they're dying, but they're just normal people that have an illness that is terminal. That's
the cool thing about it. You can really be like the source of light and joy in someone's,
Brighten up that day.
you know, during a hard time. They're obviously struggling, but you're giving them a sense of hope and friendship. So that's really cool.
Absolutely, and their loved one, because it's hard to be a caregiver. Our main volunteer, Paul Christensen.
Yes, love Paul.
He is amazing, and his wife was on hospice, and then he stuck with us along the way. And he knows what it's like to be that caregiver, and he'll go sit with families. Or patients, so families can go have a few minutes to themselves to go grocery shopping.
So
and
we
things
need
like that.
more people to be like Paul Christensen.
Absolutely.
Maybe we should give his number out. Just kidding.
Well, you know what? I think you go into it thinking you're doing this service, but in the long run, you kind of get the reward.
Yeah.
You get a little treasure that you get to take with you and have. You know.
Oh, I think that is so true.
The nurses and I talk about that all the time. Like we get so much more than we give, but just that we can go in there and give them an hour of time and be able to make them feel like they're the most important person for that hour. Yeah. But we take so much more. I would never hear like some of the stories and the rich like history that we get from. There's so many people that I work with that, you know, we're here in Spanish Fork before. You know, most of us even had houses that were built here and stuff. It was all filled. So it's cool stories to hear.
Tell us a little bit about the program you're offering currently at the Senior Center.
So every second Thursday of the month at 1 p.m., we do a bereavement support group, and we open it up to people who are caregivers right now, because you're grieving still when you're you know, losing a loved one, and people who have lost loved ones, and it's open to the community. We do it right after the Senior Center does their lunch on that day. And we just do it in the little library there. It's very casual. It's an opportunity for people to come talk to other people who have lost loved ones and get feedback. We do have topics that sometimes we talk about, and sometimes we just open it up to let people
like a little
talk about what's going on and have some laughs there. There's always some kind of a treat, so if nothing else, come for the treat and the friendship.
How long does that usually
It's an hour, so it's from 1 to 2 every second Thursday.
And who's like the leader of, is there a leader of the discussion?
So I run the support group, and Paul, my main volunteer, also comes and helps with that.
Oh,
and,
good.
Him and I kind of both co-lead.
Okay.
That is so awesome. How long has that been going on?
Oh, for about a year and a half probably we've been running it. And sometimes we have 3 people there, and sometimes we have 10 people there. I mean, it's just kind of...
That's a neat service.
Yeah.
It is.
It's great. We would love more people there, because, you know, that gives an opportunity to connect with other people who experience the same
Learn from
things.
other people. And
because they learn way more from each other than me, for sure.
So how do they reach out if they want to get involved?
They can call Maple Creek. Our phone number is 801-798-5333, or they're welcome to stop in the office. We're just right there by high school. It's 290 West Center Street. And so, just stop in. We would love to chat with you. And our receptionist, Diane, she knows all about the volunteers, so she will fill you full of information.
Thanks for being here. Thank you so much
Thank you for being in our community.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, there's more studio chatter coming right up.